move on to Pigskin Pick'em, where we're going to go ahead and talk about the Titans. Matt, what do you got for us this week, man? The
The
least talked about
Titans.
first round pick, like overall, number one overall pick
Yeah, why
in
does that
history?
have to be a thing every year, man? Why
What?
why do we always have to be like, well, oh, this? Listen, no one was less talked about than Trayvon Walker. All right, let's not do this game. But
At least in the
specifically,
quarterback position.
yeah, like that's quarterback tax at least. But the Titans, they went 3-14 last year. Of course, missed the playoffs, fourth in the division, picked number one. They were 30th in offensive EPA per play, negative 0.104. Their pass block win rate was 56%, 27th. Run block win rate was 71%, 21st. Defensive EPA per play was 0.050, 500ths. And then they were tied with the Rams and the Cardinals. And then pass rush win rate was 12th at 42%. Run stop win rate was 24th at 29%. Cam Ward, I always do a quarterback on here. Cam Ward has no EPA or success rate stats, but I do have Will Levis, who Will Levis announced today or announced this week that
Season ending,
shoulder
sir.
injury out for the season. It's good for the Titans because among 32 qualified quarterbacks who had over 300 snaps last year, he was 32nd in both EPA per play and success rate. Literally the worst quarterback in football last season. Was that just his fault? I don't know, but it's good for the Titans he's not playing. I'll say that. They fired GM Rand Carthon, who kind of had a power struggle with Mike Vrabel a year ago, and they fire him anyway and bring in Mike Borgonzi from Kansas City. Their big major keeps, they really overhauled this roster. They only kept really Sebastian Joseph Day, who didn't play a ton. He was a rotational defensive lineman for them. And Daryl Baker, who played a ton of football, but didn't really is like third string on their depth chart now, basically. Their additions, their big headline addition was Dan Moore, 4 years, $82 million, basically has guarantees through the first two seasons. Kevin Zeitler, 1 year, $9 million to be a guard. Draymond Jones from Seattle, 1 year, $8.5 million. He's going to replace Harold Landry, who left. Cody Barton, 3 years, $21 million. Tyler Lockett, and then Xavier Woods, kind of little mini signings there at the end. Then their draft. Of course, drafted Cam Ward, number one overall, but it's all about how you draft around the number one overall pick, and I thought they had the best draft of the entire year. You could go back and watch our draft reaction show. I said that then. I still believe it. Oluwafemi Olajejo in round 2. Good twitchy edge rusher. Kevin Winston Jr. in round 3. My 50th overall player. You got him in the 80s. And then in round 4, Jameer DK, Gunnar Helm tight end, and Alec Ayumanor in round 4. If one of those guys hits this year, you won the 4th round. You like, that's all you're looking for is little hits in day 3, and I think all 3 of those guys have potential in a Brian Callahan offense to stick. Their departures: Harold Landry, edge rusher; Nick Westbrook-Akine, receiver; Dylan Redunce, a tackle/guard, went to the Saints, and then they traded away Kenneth Murray, which is a good thing because that guy's bad. And then my season outlook question. This was my favorite one of any of these. How good is Cam Ward? This question doesn't matter if he sucks. If he's bad year 1, well, then you do what Ryan did, right? He's a rookie. Who cares? Give him time. But playing the what if he's good game gives more excitement, and I think it gives everybody else more excitement. The precedent the last 2 seasons is that rookie quarterbacks are like the wave now. Because let's take you back, 2022, Davis Mills was the 30th best quarterback. They bring in CJ Stroud, and they take them to the playoffs. And then 2023, Sam Howell with the Commanders, 26th in EPA per play, 24th in success rate. Jaden Daniels was 6th in EPA per play this past season, 13th in success rate. They won 12 games. They went to the NFC title game. Like we mentioned with Will Levis, he was 32nd in both of those. Let's play the game. What if Cam Ward is 13th in both? That team's winning 11 games. So it's like, how much better do they get just from getting the bump from the worst quarterback in football to maybe average, maybe above average, maybe he's a superstar. Maybe he just creates explosives every time he walks on the field like Daniels did. Who knows? But the sky's the limit with a player like this. And so it's just that alone, going from the worst situation in football at quarterback to just sustainable, brings me enough excitement that we'll see where this team finishes for me.
I don't want to be you now. Now I feel like the bad guy. Now I feel like I'm the one pooping on the parade. I mean, coming off the back of that, I mean, let's pump the brakes. I think is kind of where I'm at with Cam Ward. I like Cam Ward. He's number one overall pick. He was number one overall pick for a reason. And yes, I get you're going from Will Levis to Cam. But man, is it gonna be rough with this offense? And at the end of the day, he's a rookie, and I feel like more often than not, rookies struggle. You do occasionally have the Daniels rookie season, but more often than not,
They
you get
band-aided the
Cam Ward.
offensive line. They have Calvin Ridley. Like I said, if one of those shots hit in the round 4 guys, like
You're making me feel like I'm a bad guy.
you're staring at something. You're
Yeah.
not staring at nothing. That's my belief when I was researching this team.
Yeah.
And Cam Ward was asked about Traylon Burks today, dude. Remember when he ranked Traylon Burks in the top 5 on Fortnite? Come on.
Yeah, he was talking about that quote was ridiculous. He was talking about how he thinks, I mean, he should say it, but talking about how he thinks that he's going to be one of the best weapons if he can stay healthy. Really, my big takeaway though from
First
the
round
Titans
pick, dude.
when looking at the Titans defense, and then we can jump into the actual schedule prediction.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking over the defense, and I think to myself, man, could
Commanders'
they
defense
use
this
a
past
guy
year?
could they use a guy like Ernest Jones? That is what I think to myself. A guy like Ernest Jones could really help this defense. I don't like their linebacker core the way it is, and it's just a shame that they weren't able to keep him. Now, again, I understand why they didn't keep him, but he would have been fun to have in this defense, and it might have changed the way I looked a little bit because I do not like this defense outside of Jeffrey Simmons.
Yeah,
T Sweat, not T
I
Sweat.
don't think that they were that bad. I don't know. I'm just saying.
We'll see.
Yeah,
Which is
that's
funny
that's-
too, Ryan, that this is where it's at, considering where we're at on this team this time last year. So
I don't know. All right, let's get into it. So let's do 2 rows at a time, huh? How about that? We'll do six games at a time. That way it's 2, 2, and 2. So I'm gonna have them lose against the Broncos, lose against the Rams, beat the Colts. That's at home, by the way. So the super light blue is home, darker blue is away. I'm gonna have them lose to the Texans, beat. I'm gonna have them lose to the Cardinals. Beat the Raiders. Oh man, dude, that's gonna be fun. That's gonna be so fun. Yeah, I'm already done. I'm sorry. I'm looking at the next game. I have them 2-4 after the first 2 rows, but the next game after that is the one I'm talking about. I'll shut up though, Ben. First 2 rows before I continue and screw this up.
yeah, I mean, I'm gonna make it short and to the point here. They're gonna lose every single game besides the Cardinals game. Again, from the conversation, I think I'm gonna be lower on this team than what people are, but I really think they're going to lose, every single one of these games besides that Cardinals game.
I have them losing the first 2. I have them beating Indianapolis. I have them losing to Houston and then winning Arizona at Las Vegas. So I have them 3-3 at this stretch.
Wow.
Okay. I'm going to switch up because I think I had the Patriots beating them here. I'm going to actually say that the Titans are going to win this game against New England. And so let's see. Yeah. And then they'll lose against the Colts. No, you know what? No, they're going to beat the Colts. And
They're
then,
sweep the Colts.
yes, they're going to lose to the Chargers. Then they're in the bye week. And then they will lose to the Texans, lose to the Seahawks. Ben?
Well, see, here's the thing. We'll get into the Colts. Obviously, we're focused on the Titans. The Colts are just a better team, flat out. I think roster-wise, roster talent, they are just a better team. So that's regardless. I have them. I do have them beating the Patriots, and then I have them losing the next 4 games against the Colts, Chargers, Texans, and Seahawks. So I actually have them losing both games against the Colts. But then I do have them picking up a victory here at home against the Jaguars.
I have them beating New England. I have them losing to Indianapolis. I have them beating the Chargers 5-4 at the bye. I have them losing the next 2 games against Houston and Seattle, and then beating the Jaguars, sitting at 6-6 going into December.
Yeah, I have them beating the Jaguars, beating the Browns, losing to the Niners and Chiefs, and then beating the Saints and Jags. So they will also sweep the Jags. And then, guys, that's going to put them at 8-9 for me.
Wow. Oh, and I'm sorry. I didn't even realize the bye week. I'm looking at my own stuff. That is 100% my bad, guys. Yeah, to reiterate, I have them beating the Jags, beating the Browns. So good for them, getting wins in back-to-back weeks. And then I have them losing the rest of the season. It's the Niners, Chiefs, Saints, and Jags. So I do have them better than what they were last year, but not significantly better. I have them 4-13. Again, I think you end the year probably, happy with what it is, but at the end of the day, I do think there's going to be a whole lot of growing pains. I love Cam Ward, but the kind of ball he played in college will not translate directly to what he's going to play here in the NFL right away. He's going to have to find his footing, and that's why, it's 4-13 for them for me.
I have them beating the Browns. I have them losing to San Francisco, and then Kansas City beating the Saints and losing to Jacksonville. I have them equal with Ryan at 8-9. Again, I'm buying the offense being better than the worst offense in football. I think it's that simple. I think the defense can take a little marginal step. Maybe L'Jarius Sneed plays more than like 5 games, what it felt like he played last season. I like the overall defense from like the defensive line purpose, the 2 interior guys, T-Sweat and then Simmons. Overall, it's just weak division. I like the 4th place schedule. I think there's games they're going to steal on this schedule, and if they're clicking at the right time, they're going to rattle off wins against some of these teams. Like, I think they're better than Las Vegas. I think they're better than New England. Like, I'm bullish on this team enough that I'm buying the way they've built in the offseason, just band-aiding it all, and if Cam Ward can be exceptional, then it's welcome. So, yeah.
So just want to throw this out there. According to betmgm.com, they currently have the Tennessee Titans over-under at 5.5 wins for the win total. Early September, they'll be part of the parlay. I can tell you that right now because I'm going to parlay some teams and stuff like that. As far as over-unders, I know we talked about the Dolphins earlier on in Pigskin Pick'em, but Titans I think are also going to be in there. Dolphins under, Titans over. That's what I got right now. But fun stuff.
Right.
I don't know. I'm that confident, dude. I think what did they finish last year? They 3-14.
3-14.
Yeah. So yeah, you're telling me they can't win 3 more games than that? Looking at their schedule, I mean, I don't know. It's gonna be fun. I don't know.
Regardless, maybe I think so much of it is I just got bit in the butt by this team last year, so maybe I'm just a bit soured on them compared to this year. Like this was the team last year. I was like, they're not going to be as bad as what everyone thinks. Like, watch out. So maybe
you were a Levis believer.
Exactly. So maybe I was a year. So I think so much of it probably is I just got soured from them last year. So we'll have to, and they have a lot to prove to me as kind of a football fan / watcher. But
the way my brain works here when I look at our records, right? Matt and I being at 8-9, Ben being at 4-13. I'm sitting here like, what's that middle ground? And I'm like, 6 games. All right, cool. And then that's when I'm like, I wonder what their over under is.
Yeah.
5.5, 6 games. What do you know? So it's like, because I'm sitting here thinking like, knowing that Matt and I are higher on them than Ben is, they're probably going to fall somewhere in between where we're all at, right? And it's really cool how these things have worked out because it seems like we've been, kind of spread even when it comes to our predictions. You know what I mean? Like we'll all be 1 game apart sometimes, But this time it's like if we just take that middle number, you're still winding up with the over. So that's why I'm like,
Yeah,
whatever.
Somehow we
So
still managed to get there.